This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
All right, good evening and welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. I am your host, Kimberly McLemore, and welcome to a special edition of tonight's show. With us, we have 2-time world champion boxer Michael Nunn. Michael John Nunn, born April the 14th, 1963 in Davenport, Iowa, an American former professional boxer who competed from 1984 to 2002. He is a 2-time world champion, having held the IBF Middleweight title from 1988 to 1994. During both reigns, he also held the lineal championship. Nunn had turned professional in 1984. After winning his first 30 fights, he fought IBF middleweight title holder Frank Tate, who was 23-0. The fight took place on July 28, 1988 at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Nunn won the title by a 9th-round knockout. After his loss in May of 1991, Nunn moved up a weight division to super middleweight and won the NABF title in September of 1992 and again in January of 1993. In February and January of 1994, Nunn went on to regain the lineal and WBA super middleweight titles and lost by a 12-round decision. After 9 consecutive wins, Nunn got another shot in March of 1998. He fought for the vacant WBC light heavyweight title in Germany and had another upset, losing by a 12-round split decision. But make no mistake, Michael Nunn will always be our hometown champion here in Davenport, Iowa. So without further ado, please help me welcome to my platform 2-time world champion, Mr. Michael Nunn. Hey, Michael, how you doing this evening?
How you doing, Kim? How you doing? Tell all the fans I said hello, and I'm looking forward to doing the story. Right. I'm very excited.
Well, I'm excited to have you on my platform. You have no idea what this means to me. But I want everybody to know that this man right here, for those who don't know, let me just say, back up here for a second. Most people don't know that I'm from Davenport, Iowa originally. And so this is a great opportunity for me to be able to have a man at this status on my platform. So, Michael, before we really jump into all the questions and starting the interview, why don't you tell my listeners a little bit more about who you are?
Oh, first of all, like I said, I'm Michael Nunn. I'm a very proud father of 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. My mother, she passed about 31 months ago. I got 2 sisters and 1 brother, and I'm residing here in the Quad Cities as of now. In the future, I'm looking forward to going back to Los Angeles and continue a broadcasting career and maybe getting off into some acting. But I'm just enjoying life now that I'm home. And you know, it's great being back in the community, just being able to breathe and be up at the barbershop with your dad and David and Tom and the rest of the guys. It's very satisfying, and I'm very blessed, and I thank God every day for enduring me to do these wonderful things.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, and we're glad that you are home. And, you know, before we jump into all the other questions, I know everybody's sitting back wondering, well, what do you mean that you're back home? So I want to talk a little bit more about your childhood. I want to know what inspired you and how did you actually get into professional boxing?
You know, as a young kid growing up watching Muhammad Ali, he inspired me to be a boxer. You know, I mean, growing up in the early 70s and seeing Ali be on television and, you know, telling the world what he's going to do and being so braggadocious and just being so outstanding and so superficial and super extraordinary, he inspired me. And it's just something about, you know, Ali that, you know, I always loved and respected him, and he inspired me to want to be a champion. So I think he's probably one of my greatest inspirators and motivators, as well as my mother, Mrs. Mavis Nunn. Let her rest in power and peace forever. for being the wonderful mother, not just to me, but to my other three brothers, well, two sisters and one brother, and a host of grandchildren. So, Ali really inspired me to be who I am today, and my mother, my two greatest inspirators.
Well, there are absolutely some great inspirators, that's for sure. Michael, you've definitely have lived a life that most people haven't had the opportunity. You come from very little beginnings, right? So,
no doubt about it.
Talk a little bit about that. Tell the listeners your true story. This is an opportunity for them to really understand, because there's a lot of people who haven't grown, they're young. They don't really know who you are. They don't know much about our greatness and the people that we have that come from Davenport, Iowa. Talk a little bit more about your background and where you came from there in Davenport.
As a young kid growing up in Davenport, Iowa, people had never seen a person like me before. I'm the first and only world champion to ever come out of this great state. So, I was never deviated off my path once I made my mind up to be a boxer. And I always wanted to be the best at whatever I wanted to be. And, you have a lot of naysayers. So many people used to tell me, hey, man, you got to be crazy. You trying to be a boxer. You're not going to be able to become no champion. That's far-fetched. But it was something inside me that inspired me to keep going. Having people like my mother and people like your dad to continue to inspire me to be the best I could be. And one thing about me, I've always had a one-track mind when it comes to, doing something. I must be because of my Aries and being bullheaded. But once I focus and make my mind up to doing something, I'll be hard to stop. I figure, I can control my own destiny. And I just always wanted to be the best. And I thank a guy like Ali for being a great inspirator to me and having an opportunity to meet him and talk to him and, learn the mindset of a champion and things of that nature was very inspiring as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And well, we both got something in common because we both were born in April. Okay, so
wow,
I'm definitely stubborn, and we have that leadership quality, and that's what you are. And
for those,
so for those who were talking about you in the background, there's always somebody who has something to say, but they never lived that life and never lived your dreams, because we all have our own dreams, right?
Well, that's true, and one thing I think my mother for is always just inspiring, because like I said, when I first, took off doing it, they're like, man, you can't beat these guys. It was always what I couldn't do, instead of people inspiring you saying what you can do. I took the tee off can't and eliminated that. And now, I've done it. Now everybody tell me how great I am. So it's just funny that how you go through life to grow through it. It's fascinating. And I think that the kids that are listening, I want to inspire them. There's a young kid here in the Quad Cities, a young guy that's playing basketball. He's got some of the top colleges in the country looking out for him. So I just got done talking to him, and letting him know, I said, take my number, call me twice a week, and this is going to be your duty, to call me twice a week, because I want to continue to inspire the kid, because he's got to acquire a champion mindset. The only way he can do it is talk with somebody that's already been there, that already, been down that path. And I'm not going to mislead the kid. And I'm letting him know he's got all the talent, but what he's got to acquire now is a work ethic. He's got to change his attitude. So when your guys are out drinking beer, smoking weed, or smoking deuce, or whatever the hell they're doing, what they've got to do, he's got to become serious. He's got to be relentless with his attitude. He's got a bunch of family members that are supporting him, as well as people in the community, in the high school that he's going to. I said, man, you got a lot of people that support you, so I want to just help you. You don't owe me nothing. You can make millions of dollars. You can win many world championships. Just always remember that a guy named Michael Nunn inspired you. The reason why I want to give this kid his advice, because when I was young, I used to come to your dad's barbershop, and he used to always tell me, hey, man, stay out of trouble, do the right things, and take care of your business, man. You got a lot of talent, but utilize it. See, there's nothing like having a lot of talent and not being able to utilize it to the best of your ability. There's a lot of guys in the community that was good, but just got misled or just off the right track. And a lot of people look at me and, give me a lot of props, which is great. But, people like my mother, people like your dad, people like Marshall Jackson and Gene Baker, people that grew up in the community and was around the community, they seen the road that I was going down. They helped inspire me and keep me on the right track, because they seen the talent that I'd never seen in me. It's always people on the outside looking in. But I'm glad that I grabbed their attention and done the right things and was able to go ahead and do the things that I wanted to do. But I didn't do it by myself.
Right.
They're going to be inducting me into the Boxing Hall of Fame October 4th of 2020 in Los Angeles, California. And, I long for that moment, because people look at me and just like, oh, he's a world champion. He's this and that. Be able to continue contingency of people that helped me do the things that I've done. I mentioned guys like your father's name, Gene Baker's name, Marshall Jackson, and great, my mother, of all people, you know what I'm saying? Because those are the people that inspired me, you know what I'm saying, and kept me on the right track. So it's just bigger than Michael Nunn. The greatest joy is knowing that, it was people out there praying for you and just, wishing for the best.
Exactly. And like you said, prayer is great, and I'm glad that there's those who helped you,
thing.
And it's the best thing. And
I'd be remiss not to mention that.
Absolutely, because that's what got you through a lot of things, and we're going to dig a little bit more deeper into some of the things that happened after your career. So
yes, ma'am.
I want to talk more about the field of it. This field is actually a business, and a lot of people don't look at being a boxer as a business. Talk about a little bit about that business side and how it really affects you, how it affected you, and how it can affect others who may decide to get into this type of field as a career.
Well, first and foremost, boxing is a very serious, very dangerous sport, and I recommend that anybody's going to be involved in boxing to train hard, to work hard, to be the best you can possibly be, and don't undercut yourself by not being conditioned and not being physically, mentally, and spiritually prepared, because they look at guys on television and they forget the work, the process we go through. They just look at the end process. They don't look at what we had to endure to be able to go out to put on the dynamite performances that the great champion over the years have done. It's always the last part what they see. They don't see the getting up early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, to not being able to hang out with your friends and eat steak at night, drink wine, or do whatever we do, because we all have our different lives. It's a very serious sport, and I just want to.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
Let anybody know if they're going to be involved in sport. Train hard. That's the name of the game. It's called preparation. And then you want to always surround yourself around good people, because, teamwork makes the dream work. And can't just know one person do it. You got to have the right management. You got to have the right trainer. You got to have the right promoter. It's a whole orchestrate. It's a whole line of things that you got to have in order to be able to orchestrate what you want to do. And, just having good people and genuine people in your corner makes it a little bit easier, because, as you know, any business, you're going to have cutthroat people.
Absolutely.
Whether it's boxing, whether it's, the Microsoft business, or the bottling business, or the mechanic business. It's always going to be cutthroat. You just got to surround yourself around good people and try to put a good contingency of team people around you, and just bust your butt, work hard, and pray hard, and fight hard. And at the end of the rainbow, hopefully you can accomplish your goals.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Because like I said, everything is a business base. But what we find a lot of people don't understand is how businesses ran. Anything from the simplest of, what it takes to, like I said, not just prepare yourself, but even on the money side of it. So when it comes to getting involved in the boxing, and you really have, built yourself up to who you are, and then you really start to get these contracts coming to you, talk a little bit about how that process works.
How that process works, like, when you start generating a lot of money, you got to have the right people in play to make sure that you're getting whatever that you're worth, because we all have different price tags or whatever. But like I say, you always want to know, what is your worth. And as being a fighter, you want to make as much money as possible, and not just only make it. You want to be able to do the right things with it because, a boxing career is very short career. It's not like you can fight for 30, 40 years. It's not like working at John Deere or Microsoft where you can work 30, 40 years and then retire. So the money that you make, you want to be able to do the right things with it. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of money over the years, and I blew a lot of money. I just thank God for putting me in position to be in position to still generate money with my name and things of that nature, getting ready to go to the Hall of Fame, and then people want to, talk to me, interview me, do books on me, do documentaries and things of that nature. You need good professional people as well, because when you make a lot of money, you're going to have friends from all different walks of life. And then I noticed one thing about people and money is when you make money, you got friends that come out of nowhere that always want to, tell you something. They want to tell you how to direct your business when they can't run a 5-cent candy store, but they want to tell you how to run a multi-billion-dollar corporation or organization. And it just really amazed me, what I'm saying, when I came home, and how people used to always tell me, hey, man, do this, do that. These people, not to knock them or to say that they were not worthy, but how can you tell a man how to run $1 million corporation when you haven't ran a 100 million penny organization, but you got all these grandiose ideas? You just got to find a good team of people, of lawyers, accountants, and good management people to help you do the right things. Because one thing about money and food, they will soon depart. When you don't do the right things with the money, you look up and you'll be out on Skid Row. You're living up under a viaduct. So you need professional people with you in management. And people always want to make excuses. And I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? You want good professional people, and you want to build a small circle of people. You don't need a lot of people with you because, when you got a lot of money, you got friends from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of cousins. I got so many cousins that, I'm baffled. You know what I'm saying? I got 1,000,001 cousins. You know what I mean? I gotta go. What is the thing you go through and see if they're your family members? I gotta find them. That free thing or whatever.
Going through, the DNA testing or whatever that's called.
We got all these family members, but you got to understand that when you are on top, you're going to have a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, and as we go on, I'll be able to discuss, when you're on top, you got friends from all walks of life. But, hey, when the domino effect falls and, you there by yourself, you look around like, where are all these friends at? And, when I was incarcerated, I got a chance to see who was with me and who was against me. But one thing they taught me was to be a man, stand 10 toes down, and be like you was when you was a champion. Because, there's nothing, life is about striving, surviving, going through things. We got to go through things and grow through it, and by me being incarcerated taught me a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? And it learned me to be a little bit more humbler than what I was, because I've always been a humble individual. But, when you go through certain situations, you learn to be even more humbler, and to be able to get a second chance, there's nothing greater than that. And like Don King says, only in America, and it's a true statement. It's not, where you been, it's where you're going. And then it's where you want to go. And once you make your mind up to be or to do, there's nothing that can stop you. Because at the end of the day, I want, not just me, but people from different cultures to know that you control your own destiny. And, you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have people saying what you can't do, what you can't do. You just can't believe them. You got to get that mindset and just work hard, pray hard, and be around some good people, and some great things can happen.
Right. So let's backtrack a little bit. Now, you brought up something that most people may not know, is that you spent some time in prison, and you did about 16 and a half years. So
that's exactly right.
So tell me about what happened to Michael Nunn after the championships went away. Talk a little bit about who you were during that time.
Well, I deviated off my path by getting involved in street involvement, even though, I grew up in the street. But, not to make no excuse, whatever I done, the judge sentenced me to 24 years in prison. And with the grace of God, allowing me to be able to come home after doing 198 months on the 292 months was a blessing itself. I made some mistakes, but like I said, whatever I done, I charge it to the game and I charge it to myself. When I got set up by the United States government in a drug case, they set it up, they orchestrated it, and I guess they wanted to get me out of the picture or whatever. But they had, I guess, heard that I was a drug kingpin, so they wanted to find out. And hey, and then I ended up going to jail. But like I said, what I was involved and I shouldn't have been involved with. But, you go through life to go through it. And I learned a very valuable lesson by not being involved in stuff that can get you in trouble. And maybe it took me to go to jail for 198 months to know that, you can't break laws, because no matter who you are, you break laws and they catch you, you're going to jail. And
absolutely.
I felt like this here. Either I'm going to do the right thing or I'm going to become a rat. And like I say, I'm going to continue to sell drugs. And when the authorities catch me, I'll tell them the next man, I say, hey, there's either you're in or you're out. So I've made my mind up to not want to be involved in criminal activity no more. I'd rather do the right thing than the wrong thing, because I don't want to inform on no one. I'm not no rat. My mother didn't raise no rats. I've always been a stand-up guy, and I want to continue to be a stand-up guy. So I just made my mind up as I'd done my 16 years and 6 months in jail, because I had a choice to make. Well, I can get back out, I can get plugged back up, I can do this. But if I do this, I'm going to probably end up going back to federal prison, because people, they'll say one thing, and you got mafia guys. I mean, high-ranking mafia guys that you see every day, where they're informing on their compadres or their affiliates or their associates. So I just made my mind up right then and there to, hey, walk the right path, walk a little slower. Slow money beats no money. And plus, if you do anything, the United States government, they find out, they're going to lock your butt up. I don't care who you are. So you guys that are out there doing it, hey, man, just make your mind up. Hey, when you get caught, go to jail, do your time. Don't want to rat the whole world out.
Right.
But my advice to you is to get out and to stay out. And that's my philosophy. Hey, do the right things, and, things will manifest in the right way, because being involved in criminal activity, hey, your friend is going to tell you, listen to Michael Nunn. It happened to me. And if you get involved, they're going to tell on you. And I don't want you to get to one of these federal prisons here in the United States and say, they got Michael Nunn. I heard him on the radio program saying that my friend is going to tell on me, because that's who it's going to be, because that's who's next to you. And once he gets jammed and you get jammed, he's going to tell on you, because when the judge say somebody's got to go to jail, you're looking at 30 years. I mean, hey, that friendship becomes non and void. You know what I mean? You can know a guy all your life, but when you got to go to jail, somebody got to do the time.
That's
if you do the crime, somebody got to do the time. So, I mean, that's that saying that Beretta used back in the day in that program on television show, The Beretta. He said, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. But see, a lot of people don't understand that until they get in front of one of these federal judges here in America. They see that, hey, man, somebody's got to go to jail. See, that federal judge, that's his duty. When you come through his courts, somebody's got to go to jail. And, a lot of guys don't want to go to jail. They're going to inform. They're going to snitch, what they call it. So they say snitches get stitches and all that, but they still going to tell.
Right.
Stop if you're doing it. Just stop. Especially these young kids, because, hey, there's a lot of great opportunities out here for them, but we got to put them in the right structure. And, when I got home, the first thing I done was come to the barbershop. There's about 100 guys up, and I told them, I say, don't you guys be asking me for no drug connects. Don't you be asking me for no cartel connects. I don't want nothing to do with that. And if you guys are involved in this stuff, you guys need to stop, because when you get caught, you're going to jail.
That's right.
And the ones that are ratting, they got to go to jail too now. Understand one thing. Somebody's got to go to jail.
Right.
And my advice is to anybody, just stop.
Right. But let me ask you this question. While you were there, obviously, you just talked a little bit about the fact of how your goal while you were in prison during that time frame was to keep your head up and stay in that straight line. Talk about how challenging that was, and talk about the rituals that you use in order to stay, as one, rounded, because that's hard, because every day you're stuck for 24/7 in the cell. You have no freedom, the freedom that you were used to having. You're this champion individual, but at the end of the day, you're still human. So talk about that experience. I
had to use my mental capacity and realize that, hey, I'm in jail, and the same attributes I use to become a world champion, I had to use in jail as being a strong stand-up guy, because in jail, you get in trouble in jail as well as you get in trouble in the streets. But the thing about when you get in trouble in jail, it's designed to keep you in jail. So from day one, from the first day
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
I went in jail. I was in jail for 16 years, 6 months. Don't you know a day never went by that I was never trying to figure out how to get out of jail? And when I say figuring out how to get out of jail was the right way, not to call the federal prosecutor and tell him I got some friends, I can set them up to get him indicted, to get me home. No, I had to figure out a way to do the right thing, to come out of jail the right way. I didn't want to inform nobody, do none of that nature. I said, hey, I got myself in this jam. I got to get myself out. So what I done is I made my mind up. I say, man, you in here because when you're in a jail cell late at night, you know, you looking at the ceiling, you in a small box. You like, man, look here. You got yourself in the jam. You got to figure out a way how to get out of this jam. So I made my mind up right then and there. I say, man, God bless me to get out of jail because I seen a lot of guys die in prison. You know what I'm saying? Right. Friends of mine, you know what I'm saying? They died from either bad diets or, you know, just not taking care of their health or just stress. You know, being in prison is very stressful. But I just made my mind up right then and there, man. If I'm blessed to get out, I got the talent, I got the abilities to be able to make an income without having to be in this type of activity because I don't need the United States government tracking my every move and, you know, watching me and waiting to indict me, waiting for me to be doing something stupid to get, you know, caught back up in that web to be sent back to federal prison. I walk a chalk line, man, and I'm not nobody perfect. I tell these young kids I made my mistake, but one thing about it, I took my weight, I done my time, I done my sentence, now I'm home, and I'm going to, you know, continue to move forward and do productive, positive things. All that negativity is thrown out the window.
Absolutely, and that's the way it should be. So,
and that's the only way for it to be because you got to understand when you do the time, you do the time. And all that stuff, you got to remember when you go to R&D, you leave all that stuff at the gate. That's you. That's your pistols. That's your homeboys. That's your money. That's your girlfriend. That's your mother, your father, your kids. Because you got to go do that time. So you got to stand 10 toes down, and you got to make up your mind about how you're going to conduct yourself when you're in there. Because one thing about the system is designed to keep you there when you can't think. Because you get into prison thinking, well, I'm going to live like a savage when I was in the street. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to buck the system. They got you right where they want you at. And that ain't what you want. You want to be able to get there and find yourself and, you know, figure out a way how to get out here to be with your kids, to be with your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your wife, your mistress, your whoever. You want to get back to life when you're thinking right. And you got to correct your thinking because when you get behind that wall and you do that stupid stuff, they sit back and watch you. That's job security for these people. They're like, well, he's going to keep on being a fool, so we're going to keep him locked up. You got to make your mind up to stop.
Exactly. So like I said, really it's all about your mindset. Like you said,
it's all about your mindset because it's so easy when you get there. You got guys that are there. They'll keep you there. If you allow them to keep you there,
well, because they don't care.
How would they care? He got a fresh 30 or 40 years. He wants somebody to help him do the time. I'm going to keep my buddy here with me. You know, when they told me probably August 18th of 2018, I was coming home February 6th of 2019. I piped it all the way down. You know, I mean, I worked out at a pretty exciting program that I've done every day as far as yoga, stretching, running, and, you know, watching what I eat, conditioning myself. I said, look here, I'm going to pipe it down. I'm going to get out the way. The reason why I done that because I had guys that I knew that was involved in certain things, and I didn't want to get involved in their mishaps. And their business was their business, but I don't want to be in the presence. The people see me, Nunn was with them, so get Nunn, and they hit you in another case, or they take your out date. And in prison, when they give you out date, I'll tell anybody this: once you get that out date, you got to pipe it down. If you're doing whatever you're doing, you better wisen up, Jack, because if you miss that out date, it may be another 36 months to 5 years before you get another out date. So you don't jack your out date off. What you do is you pipe it down, you do your time, and when it's time for you to take your ASS home, you take your butt home, and you get with the family, you square up, you get a job, and you do the things that's going to keep you united with your family. Because if not, you go there, you mess that out date out. It may be 5 or 10 years before you get another out date. Because you get in trouble, man, it's bad. And that same guy, he be looking at you like you crazy, saying, "Well, that fool should have went home." But what I done, myself, Michael Nunn, what I done when my counselor called me and they said, well, they told me August 18th. They said, well, your out date is going to be February 6th. You need to pipe it down and stay out the way. You know what I done? I piped it down and stayed out the way. I go to the TV room every day. I watch my sports and laid back. I do my little workout. I make my food. I eat, and I stay out the way. I wasn't involved with nothing because there was nothing for me to be involved with. I got less than 6 months for me to be home after being gone 16 years. You think I don't want to be home and I long for this moment? And there was nothing I was going to let interfere with me going home. I told my family, hey, my kids, I'll be home this date. I'm looking forward to seeing you. And God willing, we'll be together real soon. And that's what my mindset was. It was over with. I wasn't beefing with no COs. I wasn't beefing with no inmates. I wasn't trying to, do nothing that could get me in trouble and get my out date tough, because that out date is very, very special. When you get it, you better pipe it down, brother. Right. If not, they don't mind keeping you locked up now. That's their duty.
Exactly.
They call it job security in the Fed. So you better wisen up, shorty, and do the right thing, man. And
absolutely.
Once you look back at all the stuff that you do, you're like, was it really worth it? No, it wasn't, because can I get the 16 years back? No. But I got my life. I can not catch up, but I can try to make up. You're saying it's not catching up, it's about making up. So, now I know the right thing to do, and I just want to, stay on the right path and be able to lead and guide and, direct these young dudes that are coming up, let them know, hey, man, I ain't telling you how to get your money, but you better square up, Joe, because when you get caught, you going to jail. I'm my partner, my homie. Okay, that same homie you talking about be over there trying to climb in the bed with your old lady and try to father your kids when you gone. So you better wisen up, Joe.
All right.
And be a man. You better be a man. There's nothing greater than being a man. We all want to be men, but you got to grow into being a man.
Absolutely.
And see, men do what men do. Men take care of their families. Men don't leave their families out to dry. Men are there to support their kids, support their old lady, to be able to, be that leader and guide and that teacher. See, because I don't want nobody teaching my son how to be a man when I can teach him how to be a man. Who's going to teach him greater than me? You know what I'm saying? When I was brought up by my mother, worked very hard to give me everything that I got. And, hey, she taught me how to be a man. And then I want to credit some older gentlemen in the family and some good friends, people like your dad, for instance, guys like Gene Baker, keep me on the right track. So, hey, teamwork made this dream work, man. It's not all about me.
That's right. Absolutely. So I got some more questions for you.
So go ahead, you ask whatever you want to ask me.
All right. Thank you. So, here you are, you're 56 years old, and
56 and looking good, and I'm in good shape. Man, I'm feeling good. I didn't know 56 makes you feel like this, man. I've been blessed. That's all I can say.
The reason why you feel so good and you look so good is because you made the decision to take care of you, and that's what's important, right?
Well, I had to definitely do that because, wasn't nobody going to take care of me better than me. So,
absolutely.
I made that decision, and I'm very thankful that I made that decision because, this thing is very precious, this thing called life, and we're supposed to enjoy it because this is a gift from the Almighty. So we must really honor him and thank him for blessing us to be every day to be able to do the things we're doing. And my greatest satisfaction is not only being back in the community, but being home with my grandkids because all my children are grown now. My youngest kid is 17. The oldest is 38. And I got two that's 28. And I got one that's 25. But, I got these grandchildren. Matter of fact, my eldest grandchild, she just started college. She's going to transfer to Tennessee State in January of the coming year. And it's like my greatest satisfaction to watch her be able. When I went to jail, she was born. She was little, right? I used to buy her clothes and stuff. And now I come home, she's a fine young lady, and she's very intelligent, very smart. And I mean, just to see that, man, just made my world, looks just like my mother and sister. So, like I say, my mother lives through us, and for me to see my granddaughter be able to graduate is great. Then I got other grandchildren that are like 10 and 5, and another. I got 2 that's 10, 1 that's 5, and 1 that's 19, and 1 that's like 16. So you just enjoy watching these kids grow up, and just to be in their presence. There's nothing greater. I mean, when a man's in jail, first thing you think about, I want to have some sex. You after 16 years and 6 months, who don't want to have sex? I mean, it's a long time. But, being around the grandkids, boy, it's so joyous. When I go to the pizza ranch with them and they say, hey, Papa, let's go up there and let's get some pizza. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. It's just satisfying.
Right.
They with you because they genuinely love you. They're not trying to be with you. Hey, Grandpa, I need $100.
Right.
I need this, I need that. They're there sincerely. And I mean, it just goes to show how good God is, because he instilled that love in these kids' heart. You got to remember, when they were born, I was incarcerated in the United States Penitentiary here in America.
Right.
I was not there with them at the hospital like I was supposed to be. And don't you know, these kids genuinely love me, and I would not change nothing in the world. And you couldn't give me all the money in the world to trade that in. You know what I'm saying? Just to be in their presence it makes my day. You know what I'm saying? That's my new motivation, to be home with them to help raise them, because all my children are pretty much adults now. You know what I'm saying? I got young grandchildren that, when people talk about Michael Nunn, I want to say, man, he was a smart man. He made a mistake. He came back. He redeemed himself the right way, because there's no glorification to being no jailbird or going to prison. We got to elevate our minds. We got to change our mindset, especially with the young generation.
Right.
We don't want to mislead them and think this cool. I never want my grandkids to say, oh, that was cool. My granddad went to prison for 16 years. There's nothing cool about that. I want to be able to elevate my grandchildren with the things that I'm going to do now that I'm out of prison, the decisions, the choices, and the things that I'm going to do in the future. That's going to make my day, to make them happy. And I want them to learn. I want to be their leader, teacher, and guide them in the right fashion, in the right way. I don't want them doing nothing negative, because I will go to jail for another 16 years to impede them for having to go through what I had to go through.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But that's my greatest joy, is just, seeing them grandkids, and like I say, seeing my elders graduate and be able to, attend a college. And I mean,
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
To be so smart, and man, that's like, this goes to show how great God is. Ain't nothing you can't do once you make your mind up. And I want to be there to support her, and I want her to be the trendsetter for the rest of them, because she's the eldest grandchild, and she's got brothers and cousins, and I want them to follow her direction and her leadership, and to go to school and get education. And if they want to go to college, I want to be in a position to be able to help send them to college.
Right.
I don't want to be stuck in no penitentiary talking about what I used to do and all that stuff, because that's not nothing. Because in prison, you hear a lot of different war stories. Everybody's a kingpin in jail,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's this, everybody's that. They done flew rocket ships. They done this. They done that. Okay, well, be smart to see how the jail so you can do these things. Because
Exactly.
ain't nothing you can do in jail but listen to what them people tell you to do and, pipe it down. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
what would you rather be, in society or incarcerated? I choose society. So I choose to walk a chalk line, do the right thing, and obey these people's laws and just enjoy my life and, be with my family, because there's nothing greater than that. Winning the world championship was probably one of my greatest joys in my life, but being home with my family is just as great or even greater. You know what I'm saying? So,
All right. Well, you know what? So now that you're home, you're settled in, things are starting to look forward, your future is coming and it's moving. So let's just take a few minutes and talk about the future. 2020 is just around the corner. You already know that you're going to be inducted into the California Boxing Hall of Fame in
Yes,
October
ma'am.
2020, which is fantastic, and congratulations to that.
Thank you very much.
So talk more, though, about what you see in your future and the things that you have prepared for 2020.
Well, I want to get off into the broadcasting business, and I want to, just go out there and, show my true talents and, just continue to strive and be the best I can possibly be. I will not be denied. Because that's all I got to do is work hard. Why not work hard? Because that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? That's the American way, and that's what I want to do. I want to just be the best I can possibly be. I want to continue to move forward and just breathe and stay positive and keep myself around good, positive people and just do the right thing.
All right. Well, and that's what you should be doing. And if you decide that you want to write a book, make sure you come talk to me, okay? Because
I'll make sure I do that.
Because you do know I am a 3-time award-winning author, right?
Oh, no, now I know that you told me, Ms. Kim. And believe it or not, we're going to be in conference and we're going to be having a short discussion, a long discussion, and we're going to try to make something happen.
All righty. Because, that you being able to not just talk about your story, but put that story in as a legacy as an author would be a phenomenal thing for you. And you definitely need to do that. And you absolutely need to move forward and get you a documentary about your life, because you have so much that, people really do need to hear more and see more of, that your challenges and things that you, dealt with growing up, but then becoming the man that you are, like, so you have a future ahead of you. And to some degree, you're very privileged because you're very talented. There's not a lot of people who come out after 16 years or even after a year or day and can move forward in life because they don't know what to do or know how to utilize their talents. So, definitely thankful that you are at that level and that you really do appreciate who you are. I can tell just listening to your voice and the tone and the joy of just, what we normally do as human beings take for granted, our freedom, right? And
no doubt about it, man. And I never in life, take mine for granted again, because, life is so precious and we must enjoy it while we're here. And I got a second chance, and I just want to just be the best I can possibly be. And I thank God for, giving me the talent. I want to be able to use it in a more positive way than I had been using it. And like I said, I'm overjoyed. I'm just, thankful for a second opportunity. And definitely want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your show and to be able to, get my story out there for the people that don't know Michael Nunn. For even the people that do, just know from my conversation, they can tell I'm wanting to do the right thing. And with the will of the Almighty God, we're going to do the right thing, because it's called the mindset. We just got to change our minds and make our minds up to what we want to do and just go for it, because that's what it's all about, And
absolutely.
I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and I'm super overjoyed. I just want to be the best I could possibly be.
Well, you're already made those steps, like you said, getting out was the first thing. You started there, and now you got the future to look forward to, and that's all you need to worry about. Looking in the lens and looking backwards isn't going to help you or change anything. So, just keep doing what you're doing. But I have one more question before we end our show for the evening. There, like you said, there are a lot of young people or just people in general who are listening to you. And I'm sure tonight they're sitting back thinking, wow, I never knew these things. But what, advice would you get, or, to someone who is, whether they decide they want to go into boxing or not, what advice would you give about just in general about coming into business and what to look forward to and how to move forward, and if they decide that they want to go into any type of business?
Well, first and foremost, find someone that's been successful in that business, and you ask questions. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. And as men, we have a tendency to fear asking questions. But how do you think they got to that position? We all got to ask questions, and they got a blueprint. Maybe they'll give it to you. And, we got to go through life to grow through it. And whatever you want to do, it's be a postman, be a boxer, be a CEO at one of these Fortune 500 companies. Find somebody that's involved in the business you want and ask all the questions in the world and be a sponge and live and learn. I mean, hey, because, hey, we can be what we want to be.
Absolutely.
Just, being in the company of great people, that's the greatest joy. Just don't be ashamed to ask no question. Whatever it is, go to the person and ask them. And whoever that individual is, they'll share their experiences with you. And hopefully you can live and learn from their experiences.
That's right. And
don't be saying.
Right. Yeah, and you're
don't
right.
Don't be saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Sugar Ray Leonard, guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Muhammad Ali, all them guys inspired me. When I used to go to Las Vegas and see these guys, I used to be so excited. And I'm like, I'd ask Sugar Ray, hey, Sugar Ray, I want to be a champion. What do I got to do? He said, prepare, train hard, eat right, live right, and fight your butt off. And Ali say the same thing. He said, if you're going to be a champion, what you got to do, you got to instill that mindset in your head. You got to convince yourself first, young man. I used to love him. He used to tell me, hey, you got to put it in your mind that you're going to be a champion. And then after that, you got to get up the next morning. You got to work your tail off, not just on that road, but when you get to the gymnasium, you got to listen to your coach. You got to pay attention, and you just got to be relentless, and you got to just believe, man. And don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, because it's so easy for a person to always tell a man what he can't do, and when you should be telling the man what he can do. And I'm the type of guy, I want to inspire kids from not just America, but all over the world. I want to go all over the world and be able to speak and be able to put a bug in these kids there and let them know, if you willing and able, do it. Don't let nobody defy or stop you. And just keep believing, man, and just believing in a higher power. Because ain't nothing you can't do once your mind is made up. And that's where it starts at. That little thing between your ears, convince it. And ain't nothing can stop you. And
Absolutely.
Just work hard and stay relentless and just keep on swinging. Don't never stop swinging.
All right.
Being a 2-time world boxing champion, that's my philosophy. Don't stop swinging. Because if you keep swinging, you'll land.
You're right. And you did. And you have done it, and you will do it again. You're just going to be landing on your 2 feet in a different path. And that's a beautiful thing that you have that opportunity. And, so what I want people to understand is that tonight you are listening to a champion, a 2-time world champion, a boxer.
And no doubt about it. They're definitely doing that. You guys are listening to an extraordinary champion. Extraordinary. Just go through the history and look at my archives, and hey, look, you'll be able to see for yourself. And it's just been so enjoyable talking to you, Kim. And I'm here with your father right now with a few guys, and we just sitting around. We're going to be able to chit chat and just continue to do what guys do at the barbershop. And have a good night. And thank you again.
Well, you're welcome, and I appreciate you coming on. And for those who are listening, you heard it from live from Michael Nunn. It's all about changing that mindset. Prepare, and remember that life is priceless. Don't take it for
priceless.
Don't take it for
Please
granted.
Don't take it for granted.
And do what you're supposed to do. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's all it's about. And again, I do appreciate you coming on my show tonight. Thank you for spending this time with me. It has been such a blessing for my platform. And, if there's anything else that I can do to help you continue to move forward in your career, please don't be hesitant to reach out to me, because I would love to be able to continue to have that relationship, because you are going to continue to soar. So, again, congratulations on your upcoming.
No, thank you, Kim. I want to thank you and your program for giving me the opportunity to be able to be on your show and be able to express myself and be able to let my story be told. And I want to thank all the people out there for listening. And God bless everybody.
All right. Again, thank you again, like I said, for coming on the platform. For everyone else, we are here every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. We're on iHeartRadio and Spotify. Plus, we're on 6 other new platforms. So there's no way that you can't listen to our show. The show has grown. We've been on the line for 3 years, starting to be 4 in January. So if you are interested in becoming a guest on my show, all you need to do is send me a short bio, a picture, and a business logo. And you want to send that to Kimberly at WSBILLC.com. That is my email address. And so, hey, take the opportunity to come on this platform and share your story. But like I said, we will see you again next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. with another great guest. But until then, you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
How does it sound?
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit the Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.